In the previous video, we discussed how when you're deciding between lures, float, or bottom fishing methods in Russian Fishing 4 and in real life, what you're really asking yourself is, what is the best method to target the fish I am fishing for, given my current location? Are they wanderers actively searching for food, or aggressive predators ready to chase down a meal? Am I targeting fish in shallow water or near the surface? Am I fishing for a species that stays towards the bottom, or could they be somewhere in between? To simplify this, let's start with float fishing. Float fishing starts at the surface or top of the water and generally works best in more shallow depths. Due to the lightweight floats, it can be a great method for smaller fish, allowing you to cast a lightweight bait such as a worm, maggot, or fly using the weight of your float or bobber to carry it during the cast. This is similar to a fly fishing rod where the weight of the fly line carries the lightweight fly to where you're casting. Floats do come in different shapes and sizes, for the purpose of tailoring the flotation of your float to the weight of the bait you're using. For example, heavier baits require larger floats. Float fishing can alternatively be a great way to allow bait to move naturally with the current of the water, presenting a bait that appears just as it might in real life, or at the very least covering an entire section of water versus focusing on one spot. Being able to read a float is a valuable skill because it can ensure that your bait is being properly presented. If your float is straight up and down, you know that your bait is suspended in the water column, which is to say the distance between the surface of the water to the bed at the bottom. And if your float is crooked or laying flat on the surface, this can be a sign that your bait is resting on the bottom or hitting an object below, causing a kink in the line, and perhaps damaging your ability to attract a fish. Now, while I've certainly used float rigs to catch small fish while fishing in England, as well as river catfish back in my home state of Kansas, one of my most notable float fishing trips was targeting the great alligator gar in southeast Texas. Here we tied multiple floats with huge cut bait and let them drift along the current of the lake. As soon as one of our floats started working against the current, we pulled up beside it with our boat, tied on the end of our fishing line to the end of the line of the float, and reeled in tight. After a short but exciting fight, I managed to land a true river monster, an alligator gar weighing over 230 pounds and 8 feet in length. This just goes to show that although float fishing is widely used for targeting smaller fish, it can be a great method for larger fish as well. Now, while that's a bit of an obscure example not offered in Russian Fishing 4, you can certainly float fish with multiple rods, giving you an increased chance of getting a bite, or even hook into multiple fish at the same time. On the literal opposite end from float fishing is bottom fishing. As you might guess, this method starts at the bottom of the water body using weights, referred to as sinkers or leads, to hold your bait close to the bottom, commonly referred to as the bed. This can be a great method when the fish you're targeting likes to stay near the bottom in search of food, such as carp, suckers, or catfish. A method you can combine with bottom fishing, more popular in Europe, is the use of method leads or feeders, among others, that allow you to add a pack bait to work as an attractant for the fish you're targeting. This can help in luring over a fish to a larger food source than what you may only be able to fit on your hook, or with more food available, create a fishing frenzy between a school of fish, creating more opportunities for bites over a longer period of time. When I'm using bottom fishing rigs in real life, I like to use multiple rods covering a larger area, giving me an increased chance at finding a fish. I also employ bite alarm, which you can purchase and use in RF4 as well, combined with pack bait when targeting carp and buffalo. I've used this method in both rural and urban settings for catfish, carp, and buffalo, as well as for large catfish such as my jow or gilded catfish, which I caught while fishing in South America. Aside from using baits, lure fishing employs the use of an artificial bait that mimics prey in the water body. Lures can be in various shapes and sizes to target different fish species or sizes of fish, have varying weights to sink to the bottom faster or slower, or utilize plastic bills of varying sizes and shapes for diving to a certain depth while retrieving the lure. They can hide hooks to avoid snagging, vibrate or rattle to attract predators, float on top of the water to imitate something swimming or struggling at the surface, as well as be painted in many different colors and metals to look realistic, reflect light, or remain visible at a certain depth or water clarity. Given all the benefits compared to baits, fishing lures, like gardening, are truly a mark in human history that combines our human ingenuity with an attempt at controlling nature. Now, due to the amount of lures in the world, and RF4 as well, I couldn't possibly go over every single one of them in a short amount of time. So in the next video, I'm going to be breaking them down into 5 basic categories for a quick overview.